Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishop, and the elders of GMS, who rules well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Aina. The title of this video is All Roads Lead to the Quran. All right. And as the MOTB, the mark of the beast, mentioned in Revelation 13 and 16. I got a video I want to show you because with the Strait of Hormuz, right there, they're now saying that Iran may possibly allow ships to go in and out if they trade oil using the not the petrodollar, but the yuan, which is a Chinese currency, right? And then in this video, the lady explains, how this is tied to different countries already being linked up, with China and their M bridge, system, which links and links together with other countries so they're able to trade through different currencies, and that those currencies lead and mix up with the digital currencies, basically, because that's where they're heading in the world. But the dollar definitely needs to collapse and crash, right? And that's exactly what's happening with this scrape, right? People are going to start to trade oil, it seems, in different currencies, right? Which will further kill the dollar. All right, this is Revelations 13 and 16. It says, and he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Right, that mark there is the charagma, right, the MOTB, right, which is a physical digital device, right, the C-hip, right, the technology that they're going to implant into your right hand on your forehead. You see things like Neuralink, all right, that Elon Musk is working on, that goes into your brain and you're able to control video games, right, and different things like that. That's going into the micro C-hip, okay? Revelations 13 to 17, it says, and that no man might buy or sell. So you're going to need this device to buy or sell in this new order. Right now, you can buy and sell using what? The dollar, right? Or whatever currency you have around the world. But the rulers that be, right, are changing over into the new system, which is the digital system, right? What they're calling the new world order, right? And everything is being digitalized, right? That's why you have the race for 6G, the race for AI, artificial intelligence, the race for like robots and drones and things like that is clear as day, right? It says Revelation 13:17, in that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, his number 606, which goes into 666, right, which follows this devil right around everywhere he goes. That's why the movies and media and things like that, even now in the news, everything that's happening is popping up as 6. You got 6 dead, 6 wounded, 6 missiles land on 6 schools, killing 6 children with 6 school buses, right? That's what they do. All right, that's just what they do. Okay, so let me get this real quick. I typed it in. I said all roads leads to the charagma. Now, Bishop Nathaniel of IUIC doesn't understand and know what the charagma is, but Google and all of us understand and know. All right, it says charagma is the Greek word in Revelations 13, 16 to 17 for the mark of the beast, representing an etched stamp, brand, or badge of servitude. It signifies a required sign of allegiance to the Antichrist system, which there's many Antichrists, right? Against Yahweh Bashman Shad, right? Enabling economic participation, buying, selling, while indicating ownership. See, so Google knows. It says it says key interpretations of the charagma include literal physical mark, a visible brand, tattoo, or technological imprint on the right hand or the forehead following a slotted, allowing for tracking and control. Technological, okay? So that's going into the digital age, right? Imprint. Now look at this one. It was interesting because when they read this, they said according to some. It's like, well, and then we have this one, according to some people, which are not the smart ones. It says a symbolic, ideological mark, a metaphor for accepting a secular, rebellious ideology, right, over spiritual submission to God, according to some. So like sin and things like that, like IUIC likes to say. right, so I mean the real point is right here. All right, so we got that, and so I'm gonna play this video. I looked it up, some articles, and the articles come back as true that Iran may do this. So even Google again, reports indicate Iran is considering permitting oil tankers to pass through the Strait of Hormuz if their cargo is traded in Chinese yuan rather than U.S. dollar. This policy aims to strengthen energy ties with China and bypass U.S. sanctions. See, so they're moving around the dollar, and right now this is a check by Iran, to United States of America, because people are going to try to purchase oil, right? And they're going to, because people desperately need it, and whatever opportunity they have, they're going to go for it. And right now, it might be the yuan, not the dollar. Okay. So I'm gonna start at 3 minutes and 54 seconds. This is House of L, right?
The historical template for this is instructive as well. In 1971, Nixon ended the gold standard. By 1974, the US had secured an agreement with Saudi Arabia, all produced in dollars, revenues recycled into treasuries in exchange for military protection. That deal created what economists call the petrodollar, and it gave America what economists call exorbitant privilege: the ability to print the world's reserve currency and export inflation, the ability to run persistent trade deficits without consequence, the ability to sanction countries by cutting off dollar access. Iran is systematically dismantling that privilege. According to Middle East Eye, Iran's new plan for managing tanker flow through the strait explicitly centers on yuan payments. This is not a future proposal, it is literally operational policy right now. Ships carrying dollar-denominated cargo get attacked. The UK Maritime Trade Organization confirmed at least 16 vessels struck since the war began, killing 18 seafarers, but yuan-denominated shipments to China have an unimpeded passage. From what I've seen working with quantitative analysis so far, the math here is brutal for the US. Roughly 80% of global oil transactions are currently denominated in dollars. The Strait of Hormuz handles 20% of world oil supply. If Iran successfully converts even half that volume to yuan-only trade, we're looking at a 10% reduction in dollar-denominated oil transactions globally. Now, that might not sound catastrophic until you remember that dollar demand from oil trade underpins roughly $400 billion in annual treasury purchases from Gulf states alone. Saudi Arabia is watching this very carefully as well. Riyadh has already joined China's mBridge project, a multi-central bank digital currency platform built on distributed ledger technology for instant cross-border yuan settlements. They've established a yuan-real currency swap worth $7 billion. They've opened yuan vaults on the Shanghai Gold Exchange International, allowing them to convert excess yuan from oil sales directly into physical gold. The infrastructure for abandoning the dollar is already built. We have several videos on this channel on this as well. They were just waiting for the right moment, which has finally come. Here's where it gets even worse for the US. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is now planning operations to take out Iran's land-based anti-ship missiles before attempting systematic Navy escorts through the strait. This is the detail most coverage glosses over. The US military doesn't currently have the capability to protect commercial shipping through Hormuz. Energy Secretary Chris Wright admitted Navy escorts wouldn't be feasible until the end of March at the earliest. Meanwhile, Iran has reportedly deployed mines through the waterway, the same tactic they used in the 1980s Iran-Iraq war. The US is essentially trying to solve a military problem that is fundamentally an economic problem. You can deploy 5,000 Marines, but if yuan-based trade flows freely, while dollar-based trade requires armed escorts and insurance premiums that make voyages economically impossible, the market makes the choice for you. Russia has been selling oil in rubles and yuan since 2022. Iran pushed yuan payments since sanctions began. Venezuela trades in yuan as well. Now we have an active military enforcement mechanism, the Strait of Hormuz closure, that makes dollar payments a liability and yuan payments a survival strategy. Once you know the signals to watch for, the end state becomes obvious: a bifurcated global oil market where yuan and dollars compete, and the dollar's 50-year monopoly ends. Before I walk through what happens next,
So probably play a little bit more, but we'll see. Well, ultimately, yeah, that's check. Iran, basically checkmate, basically, America regarding only allowing, Hormuz to be, traveled through if you have yuan. And that goes into the BRICS nation, as she mentioned, those big players, I believe Venezuela, Iran, you got China, of course, and, Russia, who's already been doing these, deals with the yuan, trying to bypass the dollar. Now you have Saudi Arabia, looking, to, go into that also, and pretty much that's it, and she mentioned the part about it getting, you know, the M bridge and it being digital. That's why I said all roads lead to the charagma, because with the fall of the dollar, the new system comes in. And this new system is going to be digital. These banking elites run the world. They own the banks and the money. If they're getting rid of their dollar, then the next thing is not going to be another dollar, right? It's going to be the digital currency. All right. So the dollar is dying, and something else is about to emerge. This is James 5:1. It says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth eaten." Now that, shouts towards, you sellouts out there, individuals that, scoff and mock, talking about, brothers don't have any money, or you selling out and for the bag, to teach a doctrine where now, you're going to be, you know, following behind your masters, looking for another way to sell out so you can get some of this new money, because the money you got now is about to be worthless. All right. It says, "Go to now, you rich men," the IUIC and all these other different camps selling everything that ain't nailed down. Right. This the one dude at the Grammys worth millions is over for him. GOCC says, "Go to now, you rich man, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth." Right, let's get this right here. Lord of Sabaoth. It's heaven armies, right? Heaven's armies. Lord of Sabaoth, Lord of the armies of Israel, right? The Most High Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, is a man of war, right? He's a power of war, God of war, all right? And he's bringing his army, right? General Yahushua, right? And then you got, of course, I call him general, but you have the archangel Michael, who's a general, and the angels, right, and the chariots. It says, James 5:5, "You have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. You have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter. You have condemned and killed the just, and doeth not and he doeth not resist you." Right. So you wicked individuals out there, leading the sheep astray. All right. And while you have gained making merchandise of this ministry, which the scriptures tell us not to do. Right, and pretty soon that's about to run out for you. Right, riches profit not in the day of wrath. All right, you're gonna need some new money. And Esau, what are you gonna do when all hell is breaking loose and there's no more internet, no more teaching, and things like that? Pursuant to Amos 8:11, Esau don't need you no more. He used you, right, and now he's about to be done with you soon. Mark 8:34, it says, "And when he had called the people unto him with his disciples also, he said unto them, Whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me." Well, whosoever, and what is that? Walking the walk, right? That Yahushua had to go through, the different tribulations, hardships, and things like that, right? It It says, "For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it." Right? So what we're doing right now is saving our life, and that goes to our families too, because it starts with the man, the head, right? You women out there, you're not making it anywhere with a righteous man at the head of you. All right, you need a husband, and you're gonna bear his children, right? And that man has to be a elect man of Yahweh, Watchman Shah. All right, so this word here, this gospel, this ministry that we're doing is how we save our life. It says, "For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels." Like I just said, he's coming with the angels, right, for war, right, and to redeem his elect. And those of you that were ashamed of him and sold out and all these different things, all right, you're going to be ashamed. All right.
Just a quick recommendation. If this analysis is helping you see patterns that you haven't seen before, check out my book, Awake, the Practice of Critical Thinking in an Age of Self-Lies. It's available as an ebook and audiobook. Subscribers get 10% off, and you can read the first chapter for free using the link in the description. The book teaches you how to cut through all of the noise and spot structural shifts before they're obvious. What comes next is very predictable, I think. The US either accepts yuan-denominated trade through the strait, which would be an unthinkable concession that destroys the petrodollar overnight, or commits to a prolonged military operation costing billions while Marines die protecting a financial system that's,
Like I said, checkmate basically. She just said either America says, okay, yeah, y'all can trade oil with the yuan, or you go to war, right? Two options.
already bleeding out. Iran doesn't need to win a war. They just need to make dollar-based oil trade expensive, dangerous, and irrational compared to yuan alternatives. They're already succeeding in this. The International Energy Agency just announced a 400 million barrel release from strategic reserves. This is the largest in history. They're trying to stabilize prices while the strait remains contested, but reserves are finite. Yuan infrastructure, however, is permanent. 13 American service members are already dead.
Right. So you can check that out. Lord willing, the point was made. All roads lead to the charagma. All right, shalom to the hopeful elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.